Hello everybody, welcome back to this lesson 3 of the Realta Traders Weekend Bootcamp, the third in the series. Obviously there's homework. In lesson 3 there isn't so much homework, but there is still some homework. Now we are looking at, for this, trade size calculation, as in what should be your lot size or your stake. We're looking at obviously some news here. Somebody probably sunk somebody else's battleship in the Gulf or something right now. Anything's possible. Anyway, protect your capital, learn to lose, learn to win, and fear and greed. Lesson 3 then is all about the psychology of trading, and I'll waffle for a moment here about some of those things before we get into the detail. The devil's in the detail, remember. Details matter. So, the learn to lose. I'm not going to teach you to place bad trades. It means lose with grace. If, for instance, you were in a long here and you'd failed to lock something in and you'd entered late and it turned out to be a loss because of it, then okay. That happens from time to time. Maybe you didn't check the news. Maybe you did and you just missed something, or maybe there was an announcement, or we will all remember fateful days where people flew aeroplanes into things, or oil platforms blew up. It is a thing. Those things do happen and they do affect the markets. We shouldn't react to those, and I know you might want to, and I know you might even feel the need to react, but ideally we need to trade with a level of emotional intelligence that stops us from reacting badly. And that's what that means. Also, learn to win. You know, if you were in this trade and you had got out at the very top, and maybe you were only in at €1, $1, a pound per pip, but your account balance is such that you could have been in at 10 or 20 euros, pounds, or dollars per pip. The steps in the process are the steps in the process regardless, because you can throw billions or trillions of dollars at this market and it will absorb them all. You cannot just throw money at the problem and expect it to go away. In this case, you must follow the process, the steps in the process, and things will be fine. The fear and greed, I usually use 3 simple words. Knowledge dispels fear. You have a trader business plan. You don't? Well, you will have in a moment. I'm going to share it with you. You know what the gate system is? Great. If you don't, I'm going to share it with you in a moment. But knowledge dispels fear. 3 simple words. Remember earlier in the lessons I said that we are designed to learn in threes and that everything driving related is trading related. If you learn to drive, then you can learn to trade. If you drive, then you can trade. There are rules. If you follow the rules, you will remain safe on the roads or safe on the charts. Knowledge dispels fear. We cross roads every day and cars travel at great speeds along those same roads. But we have rules, and the rules are stop, look, listen. When we're overtaking another car, when we're driving, mirror, signal, maneuver. If we stick to the rules when we're trading, we will find that we are kept safe. Now, the first file I'm going to show you here today is the gates system. It's the R2R simulation. I do also have one called New Gates and Margins. I won't worry about showing you them, but if you are a member of my group, we have this folder called Trading, and here in More we have the R2R simulation is somewhere here. R2R, there is this file. We also have this New Gates and Margins. Depending on your broker, you might be looking at the new margins, in which case you'd need that file. Notwithstanding that, we have a starting bank. How much do you have that you're prepared to risk in your trading account? And then whether it be pounds, euros, or dollars, we have a stake or indeed a lot size. And this number here under stake should be edited to suit what it is your comfort level. Here, yes, I've started with 600, be they pounds, euros or dollars, but indeed 2,500 is a very safe and sensible starting point. 600 is fine. All that changes is the percentage risk. That's what changes. The actual number, the risk, doesn't change. So this one is quite aggressive, being a 3 euros, pounds or dollars stake beginning, but you can edit that to be 50 cents or $1 or so on. You can edit that to suit, and you should edit that to suit. This is not a basic everyday compounding spreadsheet, as is somewhat thought the case. But what it is yes, there is compounding available. It's a money management system that helps you. It's actually ideally designed to force you to measure and manage your money. Let's assume you do well. And if you do well, you'll hit 32 pips. This reward must always be more than 2 times your risk. This is in pips. So if you've got a 32 pip risk and you times by your stake 3, you'll win 96. It doesn't have to be in a one-shot deal. Those 32 pips could be made up of plus 12, minus 5, plus 9, minus 6, plus 19. And do we have 32? No, we don't. We only have 29. So we still need more. We might have a minus 6 again and a plus 12. What have we got now? 35. Okay, that means that number is 35, and this number won't be 96 anymore. It'll be a bit more, but it must be a minimum of 96 if you stick with these numbers for your gates. Doesn't have to be in a single trade. If you lose 15 consecutively from your starting point, you cannot advance to gate 2, and you should really review that stake until you get back to your original balance. But if you do progress to gate 2, you can increase your stake twofold to 6, or from 50 cent to 1, or from 1 to 2, from 2 to 4, however you've edited. And what you'll find then is that you face the possibility of winning a lot more. You also face the risk of losing, but less than you've just won. Losing less than you've just won all the way through. That's the deal. That's how the gate system wins. So that if you should be fortunate enough to reach gate 10 and end up with 19,672 or more in your account, should you lose, and it should be more because reward 32 could be 33, 34, 35, could be 40. Doesn't mean you can take the pips off the new gate. It means you have achieved the next gate. If you lose 15 pips, you lose 1,500, which means you must go back and halve your stake. That's how the gate system is designed to work for you. You'll halve your stake and you'll go with only 50 euros, pounds or dollars per pip, in which case if you lose, you will lose 15 pips. That's 750. And you'll halve your stake. And if you lose, you'll lose 375 because you've gone back to 25. And if you lose, you'll halve that and you'll lose 180 because you've gone back to 12. If you lose, you'll lose 90 because you went back to 6, and so on all the way down to 3. What's happened now is you've had 6 losses back to back, 6 full gates, 6 lots of 15 pips. Ideally, members of my group will have called me and said something's going terribly wrong after only the first 2 gate losses. But we'll investigate that on the day. If we hit the enter key now, what we'll see is that we have not gone back 1 full financial gate. We still have more than we had at gate 9. So what happens then is we begin again at gate 1 with 16,732. And we add, if we get it right, 192. And if we get it right, we can add that plus 384 and so on. That plus 800 and so on will be the increase in our account if we get it right going forward. It works all the way. Let's say you get to gate 3. You're at gate 3 and you've managed to achieve 1272, which is more than twice what you began with. If you face a loss, you will lose 180. If you lose again, you will lose 90, and you lose 45. You will see that you still have more than you had at gate 2. We always protect our capital. That is the rule with our trading. Protect your capital. It's written very clearly here. Protect your capital. That's the deal. Now we also have a trader business plan, and here we talk about the focus, the action, the results. What is your vision? What is your mission? What are your objectives? What are the strategies? And will you work each day to the daily plan and repeat it? This is where you write down your goals. What do you expect to achieve from your trading. How will you get there? Will you get there? Well, what gets measured gets managed. And these two spreadsheets that I've shared here now, the trader business plan and the risk to reward simulation, or the new gates and margins, these are designed to help you, to force you to measure and manage you. As humans, we're usually very difficult to measure and manage, so we employ tools such as a spreadsheet. That's the reality. Key decisions, yes, have them, know what they are, make them. If you amend a strategy that you've been trading, you must backtest it sensibly. I've written 12 months in here, but just sensibly, please. Manage trades using trailing and managed stops in order to maximize your profit in accordance with your daily trading plan. We talked about that in lesson 2. Decisions on entry, nothing got to do with you. It's not your choice. The strategy tells you what your decision on entry or exit is once your training is complete, but make sure you complete your training on a demo account. Costs then, yes, know what they might be. Maybe you'll subscribe to a charting package. We talked about free packages in lesson 2. eSignal, Ensign, both sensible charting packages, but paid. Pro Real Time, paid. Think Trader, free. MT4, MT5, free if you have a decent broker. Trading View, there are free versions, there are paid versions. Once-off costs, maybe you'll improve your hardware and some software, maybe, who can tell, but factor it into your budget. And on business plan, I know it says key decisions here, but there, see what it says, trader, tap into that and backspace out trader and write your name. Make your own of the business plan, make it known to yourself. Costs. Well, once upon a long ago, I used to do live sessions in different places around the world. We did them in Dublin and London. We did them in other places too, Bristol and I don't know, Liverpool. But you might want to join me there. Flights, travel, accommodation, communication and living expenses that are associated to your trading. You'll want to know what they might be. People costs. Maybe you'll employ somebody, maybe you won't. Any new ideas? If you have them, write them down. Only when you write it down will you remember it, measure it and manage it. Income values. Have an idea of what you want to make from your trading. If you've looked at the gate system, then you'll realize 8,000 pips in a year. It's actually 40 pips a day, 200 pips a week, 5-day weeks, 200 days in the year will give you this 80,000 pips from memory, I think. Year 2, year 3, it's quite conservative this, because year 1, an average of £10, euros, dollars per pip, that's quite conservative, but it's sensible to be conservative. Then we've an annual profit and loss. You know what your expenditure is in a given month or year, if you like. So that's the month, that's the year. Factor it in, know what it's going to be, and know where it is you will consider giving up this line item in favor of that line item. I have a monthly column over here, or a monthly paragraph over here as well, where you can factor in your regular salary, any other income you might have, and your trading profit or loss realized. It only goes in this line once you withdraw it from your trading account. We have opportunity to load a balance sheet here. Many banks, many building societies, if you're going for a mortgage, a bond or a business loan of any kind whatsoever as an individual, they will want you to have financial reports. They will want you to know where you are financially. Not many of them know that you can have a balance sheet. Not many general, regular, everyday people think about having a balance sheet. So in here, think about having your balance sheet. What are things worth? How much is your house worth? How much is left on the mortgage? Is it in positive or negative equity? Any other assets could go down here below this line. Any savings accounts you might have, put them in. Factor in the value and know where you are and what you're worth. It's worth knowing, I promise you. There ends lesson 3. We looked at the trade size calculation, we looked at protecting your capital, a little bit of psychology, and a couple of spreadsheets to help you measure and manage you. Please trade safe, and I'll see you on the next session. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.